Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome to my channel. Today, I am sharing with you my complete overview and completely honest review of Disney's Coronado Springs Resort, and I cannot wait to share all of my thoughts and impressions with you, so stick around. Okay, before we get started, if you are not already subscribed, would you just stop right now and do me the huge honor of subscribing and hitting that little bell notification so that you don't miss any of my content about Disney and running and Disney Vacation Club. There's lots of fun things coming up and I don't want you to miss it. So I just got back from my very first stay at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. I don't know why I had avoided this resort for years. Maybe because the theming always gave me that kind of, I don't know, 1990s Howling Coyote vibe. But as you probably know, they have recently gone through a huge transformation. Every guest room has been touched, every dining area has been improved, every walkway, every piece of landscaping, every piece of paint, you name it, they have redone it. And of course they have the brand new Gran Destino Tower, which will be opening, I believe, in July. So there's a lot going on with this resort. And I am the first to admit that it exceeded my expectations. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the overall amenities of the resort. I'm going to talk about the dining options, the room quality, and finally the transportation. And I'm just, spoiler alert, I was actually very happy with my stay. I've mentioned it in some of my other videos from this trip, and I will put a link to all of those videos right up here so that you can go and watch those if you're interested. But, the first impression when you drive up, and as I'm talking, I will insert some footage from my time there. It is a very well done, classy feeling. Now, full disclosure, I spent 15 years of my life in Scottsdale, Arizona, so that kind of laid-back desert vibe really sits well with me. I feel very comfortable, and you definitely feel that. They moved away from kind of the more, like I was saying, 90s Southwest colors to much more of a natural earth tone, kind of blends with the landscape. One thing I had heard about this resort is that it was massively huge. I did not feel that way, even without those bridges. Now they do have these bridges that are going to cross that big body of water, but essentially the resort is broken down into neighborhoods. So you have the Gran Destino Towers, you have the Cabanas area, you have the, I think it's called the Ranchos section, and then you have the Casitas, which is where I was. And the Casitas is actually a really large section. The first part of the Casitas that's close to the dining and amenities are where the preferred rooms are. I was actually in the back of the Casita section. So I was pretty far from things, but I honestly did not feel like the walk was bad at all. Now granted, if it were pouring down rain or 100 degrees out, I might have felt differently, but for me, I did not feel like it was bad. So let's talk a little bit about the amenities. So you have lots of dining options, you have lots of recreational options, you have the main dig site pool, which has a beautiful water feature, and it has the temple with the water coming down, and I think at least one hot tub, if not more. I'll look that up. It has a brand new redesigned bar area. It has a sand volleyball court. I didn't film a lot at the pool. I get weird filming people at pools, and so I don't know why I didn't, but I'll insert what footage I have. The pool area was plenty big. There were plenty of open seats. The attendants were doing a good job of taking towels up where people had just sort of left their towels. You know how people will do that. They'll reserve a seat and be gone for hours and then you can't find a seat. So I felt that the customer service there at the pool was really good. They had, just the pool is big. So there was really plenty of room for everyone. I know they have a shallow little kid area pool, and I just thought it was a lot of fun. Now it was a little on the lively side. So I wanted to kind of get in the pool and have some more quiet swimming time. So I went to the pool at the Casitas, and it was a quiet pool with lap lanes, which that's amazing. I don't know of another Disney-owned property. The Swan and Dolphin has lap lanes, but I don't think there is another Disney-owned property that has lap lanes, and that was actually really nice. I was able to get a little bit of a workout in. They have a full fitness center and a spa that is actually right there in the Casita section. I went in and I got a brochure for their spa treatments. The only reason I might not get a massage there is because their prices are the same as if you go to say the Senses Spa at Saratoga Springs Springs, which is my favorite spa on property. And you get a lot more because they have a steam room, and it's just a more full spa experience either at Grand Floridian or Saratoga Springs. So if I'm going to pay the same amount, which is I think was about $150 for my massage, I'm gonna wanna get the full meal deal, but they do offer hair services, nail services, and of course massage treatments. So I thought this would actually be a great place to stay for a race weekend because you do have all of that available. And the quiet pool really was quiet. I felt like the hotel was pretty full. There was actually a cheer competition or a dance competition going on, and it did not feel full to me at all. I felt like there was plenty of room to spread out. Now, once the tower is filled with guests, that might feel different, especially at the pool area. I could see that being a little bit of an issue, but as long as you've got those quiet pools at each of the neighborhoods, the way that I like to vacation, that works just perfectly for me. Each of the neighborhoods has its own kind of theming, but the landscaping of this place was truly beautiful. There was so much. I chatted with one of the horticulturists for a while, and they start at like 3:30 in the morning, and they take such beautiful care of the grounds, you know, like they do everywhere at Disney. But I just really felt that the resort had a lot to offer. And again, and I mentioned this in my room tour, it felt more on par with a deluxe resort to me with the amenities that they offered. So the next thing let's talk about is, what did I say I was gonna say next? The food. Everybody wants to know about the food. Let's talk about the food at Coronado Springs. Now, full disclosure, I only ate one time here, and it was in the, I think it's called Mercado del Coronado, which is the huge food court. It used to be called the Pepper Market, I think. And I had a kid's nacho plate. Now, what I loved about this is they actually had like a build your own burrito situation. So on the nachos, I could get whatever fresh fruits, not fruits, you wouldn't do fruit on nachos, but whatever vegetables I wanted, and the cheese sauce, and they had fresh guacamole, and everything felt, it was really fresh and really good. I really enjoyed my meal there, and they had lots of offerings. They also have like a coffee bar area that had pastries and coffee in the morning. You have Rick's Cafe Americana, I think it's called, which is a sports bar, and then you also have the Maya Grill, which is a sit-down full-service restaurant. I did not get the opportunity to eat at the Maya Grill, but I have heard great things about it. And then they'll have the brand new restaurant, the name of which I don't remember, so I will insert that right here, that's actually out on the water. There's a bar that's kind of situated out on the water, so that the whole feel there very much says high-end resort. And the water with the fountain, and when I was there, the weather was very temperate, and it was really delightful. I could really see that restaurant in the middle of the water, once that gets open, being an awesome place to meet friends, or to have a drink, or to share a meal, or whatever. And then of course, there'll also be restaurants and things that you can take advantage of that are in the tower. So I think that is gonna be really great for guests as well. Again, I liked my food. I never felt like there were long lines. Even in the morning when I was going out to the parks, there was a little bit of line for the coffee and pastries, but not bad at all. And certainly, considering how full the hotel was, I did feel like the food service people that were working were very efficient, very well trained, and I never felt like the resort was overly crowded or overly busy. So that's always a good thing to know, especially in a resort that size. How are they handling those large crowds of people? The convention center is actually right next to where the food areas are. And as I said, there was a dance competition going on, but other than seeing the dancers walk through the gift shops or the lobby or the restaurants, I did not feel like it impacted my stay in any way. The construction did not affect my stay in any way. They really are wrapping up now. So other than the fact that there are still some exterior things going on, most of the work is being done, you know, on the inside of the building, so you certainly don't hear anything. It just has a very, very peaceful feeling. So I definitely recommend the food court there. And next time I go, and there will be a next time, I would like to experience the Maya Grill, because that looked really good as well. So now I want to move on to the quality of the room. I did do a full room tour, and I will put that link right here. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think of all of the things I loved about this resort, the quality of the room is the thing that stands out for me the most, because really, if you don't sleep, then none of these other things matter, to me anyway. If I'm there for, whether it's a Run Disney weekend or vacationing with my family, or like this trip, I'm traveling by myself, I need to be able to get a good night's sleep. The quality of the bed was incredibly comfortable. loved the quality of the bedding. I travel a lot, and so I'm kind of a connoisseur of sheet quality, and the sheets were very, I would say, very high thread count. They definitely felt like more high-end sheets. I loved that they had, you know, kind of the duvet or the blanket inside of a duvet cover so that you knew that everything was nice and clean and everything was washed and sanitized, which is a very big deal to me. I love the wood floors. I love that the bed is raised up and there was room underneath the bed. The bathroom was wonderful, especially once I figured out how to turn off the motion sensor for the fan, because it is a very loud fan. The only note that I would have on the room, and I honestly have experienced this at deluxe resorts as well, I could occasionally hear my neighbors. Now, I have a thing on my phone called a white noise app that I absolutely love. I will put a link to it below. I love it so much. Not sponsored or anything. It has just saved my bacon when I've traveled. When I put that thing on, I honestly can't, like, I can kind of hear that there's conversation going on. I can't hear what anybody's saying. It did not impact me in any way. That's kind of part of being in a hotel, especially certain times of the night. You're gonna hear people living. I mean, gosh, just like we did when we lived in an apartment, right? It's even in deluxe resorts, it's rare that if you have people on either side of you, you're gonna hear something. I'd heard complaints that the walls were a little on the thin side. It did not affect my sleep at all, and so I don't even really consider that an issue. There are ceiling fans in the rooms, which I'm thinking of making a reservation in the tower, but I noticed in the images there's no ceiling fans. So for my next stay there, I'm already like, I think maybe I need to be in the Casita section again, because I love me a ceiling fan in a hotel room. It's very important to me, especially if there's not a balcony. I start to feel like I'm in a tomb, y'all. I need to have air circulation. And speaking of which, the air conditioner worked really well. I was able to get the room nice and cool, which in Florida is extremely important. There was plenty of storage, which you can see in my room tour. I mean, plenty. And it had the refrigerator, it had the Keurig, it had all of the coffee supplies that I needed. Housekeeping did a great job of replenishing those coffee supplies every day, so I always felt like I had plenty of what I needed, and I drank a lot of coffee on this trip. If you watch the trip vlog, you'll be like, yeah, she did drink a lot of coffee. There was a lot going on. So I really loved all of the things that they supplied in the rooms. Now, they did have the amenities that are the shampoo and body wash and conditioner that are on the wall, and I know a lot of you don't like that. I brought my own, so that didn't bother me, but you did have more high-end things like that aloe vera gel that I love and a vanity kit and so forth that were in the bathroom itself. Love that you had double vanities, and the closet is a little small, but it's very tall, so still had plenty of room to put my suitcase and completely unpack. I could even see if a family of 5 were staying there, because they do have the option for the rooms that have the fold down 5th sleeper option. You would really have plenty of room, and that surprised me. The rooms were actually much larger than I had anticipated, and 100% had a very comfortable, I felt very safe, and especially, I was traveling by myself, and yeah, I just felt like the room quality was really, really good. Okay, let's move into transportation. Now, you are limited to bus transportation here, right? You're not gonna get the gondolas here, you're not gonna have a monorail here, you're not gonna have any bus or boat service here. It's all buses. I had gotten the tip when I started that it's oftentimes better to go to the front. A lot of times with these resorts, if you go around the outside, it feels massively huge, but if you crisscross internally, things don't feel quite so big. So walking to the bus stop at the front of the resort was actually quicker. I just felt like that bus stop, the bus would pick up there before it left for the park, so you didn't have to do the whole loop. And at the end of the day, where I was, the Casitas, the bus stop was actually the first one that dropped off, which is actually bus stop number 2. That is my one thing on transportation. They didn't label the bus stops based on what neighborhood was there. So instead of calling it the Casitas bus stop, it was called bus stop number 2. And that first day I got back late at night, and that really confused me. I did use the minivans once here. I was coming back late at night from Epcot, so I used the minivans, and they did drop me off right at my building, which was really, really nice. I didn't have to go to the front and walk back, which I think it was like 1 in the morning. So I felt really good about that option. So The other thing about the transportation is I'm amazed how close it was to everything. Now, not Magic Kingdom, because nothing is close to Magic Kingdom unless you are in the Magic Kingdom resorts. Just know that. That's just the way it works. But it was so convenient. I took buses to Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom in particular, I mean, I could actually see the top of Everest from where I was standing right outside my room. It shocked me how close we were to Animal Kingdom. But Hollywood Studios and Epcot were both a really quick bus ride. I never waited long for a bus, and you know, that can always just be I had good bus karma, but I would say that I 100% would recommend the transportation there. I had zero issues. I even always found a seat on the bus, which I realize isn't always the case, especially at the end of a long day, but I would give the transportation 2 thumbs up as well. So overall, my impressions of this resort, who do I think it's best for? I will tell you that it has a little bit less of the over-the-top Disney theming than what you will get, say, if you're looking at a moderate at Port Orleans French Quarter or something along those lines. For me, traveling by myself and because I have older kids, I liked that. I liked it felt a little bit more elegant, a little more adult. I felt like the amenities they offered were geared more towards adults. I do not feel like this is maybe the best call if you have really little kids. I think maybe elementary age and over this would be great. If for no other reason, then there can be long walks. And if you're dealing with a stroller, you may not want to mess with that. But definitely for couples traveling, for single travelers, for people with older kids, for a girlfriend's trip, oh my gosh. In fact, I think that is where we're gonna stay for Star Wars, and because I think that tower, because they're gonna have that restaurant and bar that are at the very top, is gonna be ideal for a trip with a bunch of girlfriends. So, do I think you should stay there? Absolutely, and I think you better book your room pretty darn quick, because once that tower opens, I think this is going to be the hot property, and especially because, in my view, as I said before, you're getting those more deluxe amenities at a moderate, it's kind of the high end now of moderate price room. So I hope you enjoyed this video. What questions do you have for me about Coronado Springs? Please put those in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that little bell notification, and give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.